Okay, I am live here on Facebook here on this camera and on YouTube there. Somehow or another, now I can't multi-screen, but hey, listen, I'm going to go mostly to YouTube. You'll see on my Facebook page down below, you'll see a link to the Facebook page over here, and then I could see who is actually on, which is nobody. All right, I know there are people watching, but they're just not watching it live, so that's okay. I wanted to talk about something today that that has been bugging me this past week. I have a little notebook here that I have written down in it. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, got a little notebook here that I write down my morning routine and things, and I am great at starting stuff. And my employees can tell you that. My family could probably tell you that. I am great at planning and starting stuff. And then after a couple of weeks or even a couple of days, oh, it's gone again. And I can do a goal if it's short term. And but when it gets to long-term goals, I quit. And I was feeling bad about that until I realized, hey, if you keep starting over again, you know, you quit for a couple of days, you're taking a day or two break, or 3 break, or this time it was like a 2-week break of me keeping up with my weight and my exercise and things that I had been starting and failing on very quickly. So anyway, so when things get bad and you feel like, man, I am not doing what I should, well, there's always tomorrow, and you can always go back and start doing something else. So anyway, on the bottom of your screen here, I think it says live at Shenandoah SewandVac. At the top, it has my phone number that I'd love to get a phone call from. It's over here, but it's 540-459-1888. And I even have a phone with me, and the phone is charged. Let me see if I have my cell phone here, because some people, oops, I got another phone in my pocket. I am so organized. I didn't lose all my marbles. I got a few there. And there's my cell phone. So if you have my cell phone number, you can call that too. Please be a human being, because it would be helpful. Anyway, so when you feel like you want to give up and quit, well, say, well, tomorrow is a new day. I remember my one daughter liked this singer, and she had a song called "Every Day is New Year's Day." If you you know how New Year's Day, everybody works ahead of time and plans. This is what I'm going to do this year. The fitness centers are just jam-packed with people signing up. They're just so excited to get their exercise programs going because of all the food they ate for Thanksgiving and all through Christmas and everything. And then they start the program, and a few months later they quit. Well, they need to have another program started whenever it is. July, June, May, whatever. Just keep starting the program again. Sooner or later, it's going to make a difference. Actually, it makes a difference while you're doing it. And there you go. Today, I'm going to talk about several things. One is, I'm going to talk about vacuum cleaner bags. Now, you guys on Facebook, I don't know how many of you are. I think there's nobody watching there, too. So, anyway, you people on Facebook or on YouTube, here's what I want to talk. I want to talk about vacuum cleaner bags, and these are some of the first vacuum cleaner bags ever invented. These are the Hoover Sea Bags. Okay, and they were called sea bags. I don't know why, but they were. And in the bottom of them is an opening. And the purpose of this opening was to put over a tube in the bottom of the vacuum cleaner, and then the dirt would come in here, and it would puff up the bag to fill up the cover bag. Now, the cover bag was a zippered bag that you fit the bag into, and the reason they had that, see how it fluffs up there? Ooh. Getting nice and big. Well, the reason they did this is so that this would filter the air so the dirt didn't come flying back in it. The cloth bags were okay. Some of the cloth bags were okay, but they didn't really filter super well, and dirt would make it through the pores. So the way to keep them clean would have been to wash them every once in a while, but as you did that, you made the bags thinner. So this was, you changed the bag, you had a new vacuum cleaner. The only problem with this vacuum cleaner was that when you turn on the vacuum cleaner, all the air would go up into the bag. It was a blowing type vacuum cleaner. All the dirt hit a fan in the bottom of the vacuum, blew up. I like to emphasize the word blew up into the bag. But when you turn the bag off, turn the vacuum cleaner off, the dirt in this bag would come running back out the bottom and out the bottom of the vacuum cleaner. Not too smart, but it was the best they had at the time. So the dirt would come running out of the bottom of the vacuum cleaner. And you'll notice that if you have an old Hoover vacuum cleaner, and I have a lady who is over 100 that I think watches the show later, and she has one of these kind of vacuum cleaners. And so what I did for her was I got her this bag. This is a Eureka F&G bag. And you'll notice it has a tube on it also. Well, the way this works is you put this on that tube at the bottom of the vacuum cleaner, and the dirt would go up this snout, almost like an elephant's trunk, up into the top of the bag, and then the dirt would fall down into this. Matter of fact, there's a picture. You see that picture there? Shows the dirt going up the tube over here, and then back down into the bag. Well, that's how this works. It'd go into the tube, up the tube, into the top of the bag here. This was your filter, and then the dirt would collect down in the bottom of this bag. Very smart idea, and I always try to suggest to customers, if you have a Hoover vacuum cleaner, use Eureka F&G bags. They hold the dirt better. It doesn't come falling out when you're done. They're bigger, and they seem to do a better job. Now, I have to say, though, there are some Hoover vacuum cleaners that have real narrow bags on the outside with usually little snaps on the back. And you have to use, I lost the other bag. You have to use the other bag to do that, because that paper bag I just showed you, the F&G, will not fit inside. Okay, so here we go. I wanted to talk also about the types of bags there are. You start off with this bag. This is like a grocery store bag. And I usually tell people to kind of avoid those because it's only a one ply bag, and the dirt can work its way through these holes pretty easily and get back out into the air. They don't filter the air quite as good as other bags do. So I try not to sell these kind of bags because they don't, if they make the other kinds, so that you don't have dirt coming back into the air and you're breathing it all. This bag is a microline bag. It has extra filtering inside, another layer of filters inside to protect you from more dirt. Sort of like those masks you used to have to wear back during COVID. Well, the best bags are these. These are actually cloth 3M bags. I don't know if you can see, but they've got little dimples on them. They are actual 3M cloth bags, and they filter the air really well. Matter of fact, there was a time when people were making these into masks for COVID. I think I can use that word. Anyway, for the disease. And this was to keep it really filters way down. And so people that are afraid of dirt, by the way, we used to live with dirt floors and we used a broom, but they used these for masks, and they did a really good job of filtering the air. Some of the cloth things didn't quite do so much. It did keep spit, and it kept that out of the way. All right, I see a customer pulled up out front here. Hopefully we'll have somebody. Now, you on Facebook will not be able to see them because I'm not going to run around with that camera, but I will run around with this one if I have to. Alrighty? Now, that's vacuum cleaner bags. By the way, we did used to live with dirt floors. I'm a member of the Columbia Furnace Community Club. And the reason that club started was because there was a brother and sister lived in an old log cabin that had dirt floors. And I'm told when people would go to visit, they made sure they laid brand new newspapers on the floor to walk on, so you didn't walk on the dirt floor inside their house. And so anyway, that was why I keep saying that we used to live with dirt floors, and it wasn't too long ago that a lot of people did. And they swept them too. I don't know if they put a little water on there, misted a little water to keep the dirt from flying around, but that's what they did. All right, that's my vacuum cleaner comments for the day. All right, and still I don't see any people watching me, but I'm going to keep going. All right, next I'm going to talk about sewing machines. And with sewing machines, we have a problem. And I get really personal with my customers sometimes because they'll come to me and they'll say, my material's not getting fed through my machine, and I don't know what's going on. And I'll say, well, have you cleaned between your toes? And they go, no, You shouldn't say that to people. I don't mean take it off your socks. Okay, I'm talking about inside your sewing machine. And these are called feed dogs. See those? Those are feed dogs. In between here, in between the little toesies here, there is a place where dirt and lint can collect. And it gets pressed down inside. And it makes for little Nerf. You get enough of that, you can make a pillow. It's like lint, like from your dryer. Gets down inside there and keeps it from moving. The material, the plate will get stuck on the lint and won't rise any higher. So these little gritty teeth on here won't move the material. So then you're in bad shape. It doesn't work. So you got to clean between the toes of your sewing machine every once in a while. Take off that needle plate and clean underneath there and then put it back on. All right? That is, and usually there's only like 2 screws you got to use to take off that plate. And don't take this off, by the way. Those are 2 screws here, but don't take those off. Leave those as they are because they're set. If you move them, then they kind of get catty-wonkus and they won't work so well. Then you have to have them adjusted. Okay? Now, another thing about feet on sewing machines is back in the 1960s, there was this sewing machine that came out. It was called the Singer Touch and Sew. It was after the old metal machines. This one had mostly nylon gears in it. But it was also made for double knit material. You know, that real slick material that if you get one hole in it, you're flat and embarrassed because the hole gets bigger. You don't want it on the bottom. Okay, it's not good. Anyway, this is a rubber foot that works with silk and fine materials. It doesn't cut holes in it. These are real rough. Okay? These are real rough. I had to motion for this guy. He's acting like he's not going to come in, but I hope he does. Okay. Oh, I don't know who this is. Okay. So anyway, this is really special because this will allow you to sew silky material, but it gets gummy after a while and leaves black marks on your material. Not good at all. So I usually change them out for these. These are metal feet. They never go bad, or very seldom go bad, and they don't gum up your material with black marks and things. Okay? And I have with me right now Mr. J. Click of Clean Right Carpet Cleaning. He doesn't spell good, but he cleans right. How you doing, sir?
Well, when we clean right.
That's right there. You can go that one. Right there.
Hey,
there you are.
How's it going?
Yeah, nobody's on. There's a 0 showing on there.
That's okay.
I am doing great.
For you on my phone.
Yes. See, I hope.
I thought that's what you were doing in here.
Yeah.
Pulled up.
I've had no success of any phone calls or anything. Oh, I did want to show this. I can show this to everybody. This, I found this at my house. Why, I don't know. It's a Kirby attachment for your vacuum cleaner. Do you know what this does? This is Kirby's attempt to sell their vacuum cleaners. This is a hair cutter. A Flowbee before the time of Flowbees. Yeah, you put your vacuum cleaner on there and you suck, and it sucks air through and cuts your hair.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait till you see the hair dryer. I'm going to put that on one day. That'll give you a real thrill. Okay? So, how can I help you this fine day?
Nothing. I just popped in to see if you were here. I haven't seen you in a while.
You know, I don't have on my list any cleaning suggestions for anybody today.
Cleaning suggestions?
Clean. Well, I've talked about
this. I can tell you from as carpet cleaning experience.
Yes, go ahead.
If you have a spot on your carpet.
Yes.
Or rug, depending on what kind of rug it is, check and see if it's a wool. If it's a man-made rug or carpet, the best thing you can do is take about a quart of hot water and put about a teaspoon of laundry detergent, especially if you can get the newer laundry detergent that doesn't suds up so much.
Okay, so you want detergent, not soap.
Yeah, you don't want to put soap. You don't want to put necessarily dish washing liquid because, oh boy, the foam.
Okay.
The foam. And that's one of the best things you can use to get a couple of spots out. If you're,
don't make it don't make it too wet. This is what I talked about before. You make it too wet and it goes to the bottom and spreads out and then comes to the top and it brings all of its friends along. It's not good.
It's true. It's very true.
I tell them.
Take a rag and put it on there and try to get as much of the stain out beforehand before you even start this, and then get a clean rag when you do this. And after you clean it, pat it down several times. I just had a guy cleaned his whole entire floor.
Yeah.
As soon as I got done, I wrapped everything up. Everything. His wife looked out the door. She goes, "Your cat just puked on the floor." So he goes, "Oh no, we're going to have to, unwrap everything, dude." I said, "Hold on a second." So you go in there with the white. Well, I always carry.
You always do, except for today. That's right. I just sound like me.
Truck.
Yeah.
You have a white. I usually have a white towel, but you can use paper towels or anything you want. But anyhow, you take that paper towel, double up a couple times, and then hit that. Usually, if you hit it with, there you go.
Yeah.
You hit it with a white towel and step on it, whatever you got to do to pull as much of that wetness out.
Yeah.
You won't believe how much crap came out of that carpet. Fresh puke, cat puke. Sorry.
Boy, that really makes me want to not touch that towel.
Well, that was in great shape.
I know.
No, believe me, this one was no problem. You knew exactly where the cat puke.
And I talk to people about. I'm going to talk to people about Host in the future, putting that on top too to help draw that stuff out.
Great. Yeah. The great thing about Host is it doesn't go through the carpet.
Well, I tell people you can't ruin your carpet with that.
True.
It might not do it, but it doesn't ruin your carpet.
Yeah.
And talk about stains.
Yeah.
Because just a second.
Yeah,
just talk about stains, about how you can ruin your carpet by trying to clean it.
How you can ruin it by trying to clean it.
Well, or resolve and some of that stuff.
The biggest problem people have is they'll go and rent one of these machines, and they have their place, but man, they will overwet a carpet. The biggest problem I see with them, they don't have enough vacuum. They really don't. They need more vacuum. The pressure lines are fine. They don't have a whole lot. You got another one coming.
Yeah.
100 psi, but they'll overwet it, and then they won't be able to suck enough out.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll get mold or mildew, and that's terrible. You definitely don't want that. That's a problem. It's a lot of money if you really want to get rid of it. Hey, how you doing this morning?
Well, Jay, I'm going to start talking to this gentleman here, and thank you for coming by.
Good to see you again.
I'll have you officially come by sometime, but thank you. Thank you. This is good. You're the second guest on my show, and the customer that did it was not
I'd be glad to come on here with you, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, sir, bring that over here.
Yeah,
that is
at it again.
That is an Oric Buster B.
You have put a new switch on it before.
Uh-oh, I don't like hearing this. Did the timer go off?
I don't know.
Doesn't work now?
I vacuumed downstairs, and then by the time I got upstairs, it wasn't working again. It had worked all downstairs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hold on here.
For a long time.
Hold on here. I'm going to plug this in. And this.
I know that you put a new switch.
I put a new switch in, but
you remember
sometimes,
that?
Well, I remember putting switches on. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name or anything. How's that? How bad is that? Okay, let's see what happens here. Well, something is wrong, but the switch sounds good. So I don't think it's the switch. I'm afraid to play with the cords here, but yeah.
Good.
Oh, it's the cord.
I'm going to guess it's the cord because, I'm going to have to work on that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll be right back. You guys, both of you. I'm on the internet here. That's why I'm.
Oh, okay.
I know people look at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm talking to people.
All right, get through the window. I'm gonna get out of your hair, buddy.
Jay, thanks for coming by.
I'll be back some other day.
All right,
give you a hard time.
Jay with Clean Right Carpet Cleaning.
Yes.
Clean, smell good, but you clean right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll get together.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, sir, I need you to put your name, address, and phone number on there.
Okay.
And I'm going to shorten that cord up for you just a wee bit.
Okay.
And that should solve your problem. I really do like that vacuum. It's nice and handy to use.
Yeah, that's why I like
and
it.
I sell the bags to them, and
the other one is so big.
I work on them.
You want my address?
Yes, sir, just in case something. Have you moved?
No.
Well, then you don't have to put your address on there.
Okay.
I've got all your information on my computer over here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for thinking about me too. Although I'm sorry that you're coming in again. It looks like somebody put tape on that cord. Did I do that or did you do that?
You did that.
I'm ashamed. I will try to make it so it doesn't do that again.
Last time you put a new switch on and worked on the
cord again?
Yeah.
Hey, do you do a lot of wiggling when you're vacuuming?
I don't guess so.
You better hadn't. I think it's against the law in some states. So we'll take care of that for you.
Doing a lot of wiggling when I'm back.
Okay. Thank you so much. And here, you can have that if you want to watch what I do here on the air once a week. You can. You can watch it. You can watch it live. You'd be the only one right now. But nobody else is watching right now. They will in the future. They usually watch.
I can watch what you're doing. To my vacuum? Or?
Jennifer, well, I am starting to set up the camera to record my work that I do. So you can watch me, but I do it in fast speed.
Is that right?
So it'll be about a minute or 30 seconds showing me I work. And you'll say, you're charging me that much just for 30 seconds? But you'll see I work really fast that way.
Yeah.
I use stop motion. So.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Supervision.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, I've got my first customer watching. I am just so excited.
Okay.
And they're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, which I don't really have a lot there. I've got everything over here. So, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
I'll look for you to call then.
Okie dokie. I will give you a call. Probably it'll be next week, the first of next week, so Wednesday to Thursday.
That's fine.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, 2 surprises today. I'm so excited. Jennifer, you might want to go to my YouTube video, because at least I hope it's on the air. If it's not on the air, could you write me back? Put a little note down there. Thank you. She's waving at me. That's good. I am excited. This is the first time I've had a live customer respond. Well, second time, but the first one I didn't get it. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about, I was talking about cleaning between your toes and rubber feet and metal feet. And metal feet, I think, are better. Metal feet are better than rubber feet. Okay. Because metal feet don't wear out. Rubber feet get gummy. Especially if you get oil on them. You weren't supposed to use much oil in the Singer Touch It Sews. But people did, and then it got all over their fabric, and they weren't too happy. So now, we're going to talk about lamp things. Lamp things. Jay gave some hints on cleaning. That's good, because I didn't have anything written down today. But, lamp things. Now, most of the time, you buy a lamp that doesn't have a switch on the lamp itself. They just have it on the cord. They usually have this kind of switch. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Has a round knob that you turn, and it kind of makes contact. I'll do it on there again. You turn it, and it kind of has contact. I don't like those. Okay, now I used to put them on lamps because that's all I knew about, and I would put them on the lamps, and people would say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." But after a period of time, these little switches, because the wires slide back and forth, they can cause a little static, and then cause those switches to go bad. Not a good thing. And so I went to this type of switch. And I've got them in all different colors. I got them in clear. I had a clear switch, and I said, I'm not going to do that because you can't see it very well. It's not invisible, but it's clear. And then I had a gold one, and you can't see that very well because it is kind of clear. And then I have black, brown, and white. And I thought, well, white's probably the easiest to see. You see that there? So it's got a switch on it that you click on it and it goes, it's on. You click on it, it's off. Okay? I love this because you know it's either on or off. It's not halfway between. If you've ever had those rolling switches and you turn those things, oh, I've got a phone call. Hold on. Let's see if this is a human being. Hello there. You are live and on the air. How can I help you? Hello? Hello? I guess say goodnight, Gracie. They're gone. Okay. That's the way it works. All right, so they're gone. I'm back here again. Okay, so I like these switches because they're nice and neat. Okay, they do really good for lamp switches and things that have lamp cords on. They don't do well for longer cords and things because you'll see the cord is designed for a smaller cord. Okay, and so I don't use these on like vacuum cleaners and things like that because they don't work well on that. Plus, they're not made for that much voltage. So you turn them on and off with this switch. Very, very good things. All right. Next, I'm going to talk about my freebie thing. And I use a program called Brave instead of Chrome or Firefox or those kind of things. I use Brave. Brave supposedly cuts out ads and things. And I have to admit, when I do research on Brave and don't get any cookies, which I shouldn't eat so many cookies anyway. When I'm working with those, it's supposed to be funny, but it's true. I shouldn't eat so many cookies. Anyway, when you're using Brave, it cuts out the cookies and it cuts out a lot of ads. So when I'm watching YouTube with my family and we're watching something like the Gaithers old TV shows like the Beverly Hillbillies and things, there are no commercials on YouTube. I don't know how it does it, but that's what I use. And it seems to work very well on that. All right. But I would suggest you look up Brave. The symbol is a bear. I don't know what a bear has to do with Brave, but it has a bear for its symbol. And I enjoy using that. And it is free. Okay. And it cuts out a lot of ads. And especially on YouTube. There are some TV shows, like on other networks like Tubi and these kind of things, it knows and it says, you can't watch it on this. So then you have to go to Chrome and put up with the commercials, which is still better than cable. And it's about the same as watching things over the air like we did when we were kids. Which you turn on the TV, you had a couple ads, it's time to get you to run to the bathroom or grab something out of the kitchen to eat, you know. It was a great thing. Commercials were actually useful in those days because you couldn't go back. Now that's something you can do nowadays. If you see something that you want to see again, you grab the little thing at the bottom of the screen and pull it back and then drop it, and it goes back to where you dropped it. That is very nice. Even on my live show, you can do the same kind of thing. You can go back and watch some of the things over and over again. And if you want to see somebody handsome, you go back and look at Jay when he was on here. It was much better than what you're looking at now. Alrighty, now I've talked about my thoughts of the day, which is you might quit, okay? You might quit, but don't give up, okay? You just keep going and trying again a different way. Now, if you're going to be parachuting, don't do that, because if you're going to quit parachuting, the results are not very good. You want to stop before you start with parachuting. You want to be careful with that, alrighty? And if you're going to spend lots and lots of money, be careful. Because if you're going to go into debt, I tell people, I feel like debt is slavery. Because you owe somebody something you can't get back. Now, I am a slave for my Lord and Savior, but He's the only one I'm a slave for, because He gave everything so that I could have everything. Because this life is not all there is. Alrighty, any questions? Jennifer, I think you're the only one here, and you're the only one that said hi. Anybody else have any questions for? Oh, I've got a person on Facebook, on YouTube now. I am so excited. Anybody have any questions? My phone is right here. I can answer questions on the phone, live and free. I don't charge for answering questions on the phone yet. I mean, because I don't know how. And I will do FaceTime with people if they need it. Or it looks like they said I could add 3 persons to my FaceTime, my Facebook chat, so I could do live chats with people on Facebook too. So if you have any questions with your sewing machine and you live in another country like Holland, or I lost my person. I must have said something offensive on YouTube there. So anyway, if you guys will give me comments. And if you're watching them later, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind if you write me later. I will try to look at it before next week. Alrighty? And I'm going to try to keep getting better at this, but things just keep coming up. I don't know if the program I'm using for YouTube is not allowing me to add more channels to it or not, because they might want money. And Facebook only lets me do up and down pictures when I'm doing it on my own. And I don't care for that, because when we look at pictures in a photo album or in a TV, we want them this way, not this way. So I look a little crazy like doing that, don't I? Okay. All right, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody on Facebook. Thank you all so much for watching now or later, and I'm going to add you all to my list. And you on YouTube, whoops. I'm going to say goodnight. Bye here. Let's see if I push the button here. It says finish. So I'm going to say, I'm like a turkey. I'm done. All right. All right. Bye-bye. All right. They're going bad. So now I could talk to you about all kinds of secret things. That's not true. All right. I do want to talk about one of my vacuum cleaners. And I've got that set up over here. We're going to turn the camera around and we're going to talk about that for a second. This is one I only have in for this week because someone ordered it from me, and they want to pick it up, and I don't blame them. It's a nice vacuum. Wait, hold on. Up I go. Down just a little bit. All right, there we go. Now I might stoop over. Yep, I'm stooped over. Okay, this vacuum here is a Sebo K3. It's a German-made vacuum cleaner, but it is fabulous. It runs very quietly, and if you've ever had a vacuum cleaner that blew dirt when you turned it on, the dirt on the floor would go flying somewhere, this vacuum cleaner is that problem solved with this bumper. This bumper is cloth, and underneath of it's foam, so it doesn't scratch up your walls, doesn't leave block marks. I got people that kind of complain about the bumpers on vacuum cleaners leaving marks on their walls. This doesn't do that because it's cloth. But it also, the air comes out of this whole bumper area all the way around the vacuum. So, I'm not going to bend over. Let me pull it up just a hair more. There we go. It comes out all around this edge here. Very, very nice. And like I say, it's a very quiet vacuum cleaner. I might turn it over on here in a minute. It has its built-in crevice tool here. Uh-oh. This is live TV. All right. I would retake that if I were doing it at home. Okay. So then also on the end, I have, whoops, the crevice tool is built into the vacuum cleaner right there. So you can use that right in the vacuum. You don't have to go hunting for it unless you take it out and put it somewhere. And it's best to put it back where it belongs. All of my former employees are yelling, why doesn't he do that? Well, that's because I don't. All right. Now to change the bag on this vacuum cleaner, this is one of my favorite vacuum cleaner styles because the vacuum cleaner protects the motor. Okay, I'm going to open this up here, and I can take this whole door off so I can get in here to the bag. And here is the bag. This bag is one of those cloth bags that I was telling you about. And this vacuum cleaner actually has a cap for the bag. This green thing here is a cap for the bag. And one of the problems I had was I was demonstrating this vacuum cleaner when I first got it, and I put the cap on the bag. The bag had never been used. I couldn't get the cap off because it snaps on so good. So what you can do with this, once you're done cleaning your house and you got your favorite dog or cat, and this thing is filled up with dog or cat hair, snap that on there, and then you've got a pillow. Don't do that. But anyway, that is it's cloth, and you put the cap on. The dirt will not blow back out in your face when you throw it in the trash. That's, don't stick on there. Ooh. That is one of the things I like about this vacuum. The second thing I like about this vacuum cleaner, or one of the things I like about this vacuum, is this. This filter here protects the motor from the dirt that may escape from this bag. So this filter keeps the motor clean. It also, this filter stays clean for a long time. A lot of times these vacuum cleaner companies will say, change the filter every 3 months. They want more money. They don't always need to be changed. As long as you keep this bag changed regularly, it will protect the bag and the inside of this bag chamber. It'll keep it clean. Okay? Oh, I've got a live person calling me. Hold on. Here we go. Hello, Shenandoah SewandVac. You're live and on the air. How can I help you?
Hi, how you doing?
I am doing fabulous. You're live on YouTube right now. How can I help you?
Well, where are you located?
In my showroom in Woodstock, Virginia.
Okay.
Where are you calling from?
And do you do a repair on refrigerators?
No, I do not. I know when to keep my nose out of things.
Okay.
Because usually if there's food in there I shouldn't eat.
Do you know where I could find someone who could take a look at it?
Sir, I am kind of flummoxed. Hold on here. Let me go look. Excuse me. I'll be right back, everybody. All right. Let me go over here and look on my bulletin board. And I have on here, I have Keith's Appliance Repair. And he lives on Schwartz Road here in Marytown. And his phone number, are you ready?
Give me 2 seconds here.
3, 2. Okay, good. Now you ready? Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds.
Give me about 15.
Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on.
Oh my goodness, he's leaving the room, everybody. Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
All right. Hold on. Time out on the end.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Keith's Appliance Repair. I have his card here. It's 540-436-9238.
38.
Yes, sir. Keith. Keith''. And if he can't help you, call me back and I'll take his card down. But I put cards up here for people when they come by and they say they do things until I find out they don't do good things.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All righty? You have a fabulous day. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, a live call. What do you think? Okay, back to this. All right, so we're going to put the bag back in here, and these bags just slide in one way. It slides in here like this. Come on, Ralph. You're doing great. All right, and now when I put the cover on, when I put that cover on, which I put right here, it's going to seal the bag into the vacuum cleaner so that it's nice and tight. It will not leak air around the top here because of that. This vacuum particularly has a power nozzle to it, and it has the brush roll. Okay, nice system. But one of the things that's nice about this too is, let's say you're a knitter and you knit and all of a sudden your yarn gets sucked up in the vacuum cleaner. You can take the brush roll out, and the nice thing about this vacuum cleaner, no screwdriver, no master's degree or government bailout needed to take that out and clean it. Although, if you buy it from me, you can bring it back and I'll help take care of that for you too. But what a deal. I really like this because after about 10 years or so, you might need a new brush roll. The upright version of this, I sold to the Moose Club over here, and every once in a while they'd have to have the brush roll changed because they vacuumed their whole dance floor and everything with it, and would wear the brush down. They need to be changed. But usually home use, it very seldom needs to be changed. And it will tell you if it needs it, because it's got dots and lights and things, and I explain that to you if you bought the vacuum from me. Or if you came in to look at it, I will explain that stuff to you. All right. It also has this wonderful, which fits on your wand, wonderful duster brush. Look at that. And you animal lovers, I'm sorry. Well, it probably didn't. They didn't use a live horse. Or if they did, it was just the tail. But this has horsehair bristles on it. Okay? Which is very handy for dusting off things. And it's not hard plastic. It doesn't curl up. It will do a nice job of dusting. All right, and then it also has a wonderful floor tool, because you don't want to use that brush roll digging around on your fine wood floors or whatever you have on your floors. This is a horsehair bristle brush with wheels on the side to help it, and the rubber wheels too, woohoo! And that rubs on your floor to help keep your floor clean, because you need something to wipe the floor as you're vacuuming. Okay, now, I think that's about it. The wand, this wand is adjustable for the vacuum cleaner, so you can use it for tall people, or put it down, give it to the grandkids, tell them to play. They're not playing, they're actually cleaning. Don't tell them they're working, tell them they're playing. And they'll do a great job with it. All right, and this vacuum cleaner is guaranteed for 5 years, and I do the work on it. All right? Thank you all very much for today. I was going to talk about other things, but I see another customer coming, and I don't know if they really want to be on the air today. Next week, I'll be back, I hope, Lord willing, and we'll see how that goes. Alrighty? Questions, comments, something you want me to talk about, put that on the comments down below. And I say down below because that's what all the other YouTubers say. Alrighty? Thank you all. You all have a great day. Let me hit the end here and say goodnight. Yes, I do want to end. Say goodnight, Gracie. Do you want to end this session on YouTube? Yes, I want to keep it though. All right. All right, we're talking out. We're calling down here. Say goodnight, Gracie.